A day on the focus, folks. It's Anne here, ready to dive into the historical happenings of January 30th. Buckle up, Buttercup, because today's a wild ride. First off, let's set the record straight. January 30th has seen some stuff. We're talking centuries of drama, folks. Way back in 1018, Poland and the Holy Roman Empire decided to call a truce, the Peace of Bautzen. Probably a good thing. Less sword fighting, more sausage, I'm guessing. Fast forward a few centuries, and we're in 1649. Remember Charles I, King of England? Yeah, he got the chop on this very day. Heads will roll, indeed. Then, incredibly, in 1661, Oliver Cromwell, the guy who essentially got rid of Charles, also received a posthumous execution. Talk about a long game of revenge. 1607 wasn't great for England either. A massive flood in the Bristol Channel and Severn Estuary wiped out about 200 square miles and a couple of thousand people. Brutal. And if you thought that was bad, 1945 saw the sinking of the Wilhelm Gustloff, a German refugee ship torpedoed by a Soviet submarine. Estimates put the death toll around 9,500. Heartbreaking. But let's not dwell on the doom and gloom. January 30th also gave us some good things. For example, in 1826, the Menai Suspension Bridge opened in Wales, considered the first modern suspension bridge. Progress. And who can forget 1847, when Yerba Buena, California, was renamed San Francisco? Suddenly, a lot more pronounceable. In 1969, the Beatles gave their last ever public performance on a rooftop in London. Picture it: John, Paul, George, and Ringo jamming away. Then the fuzz shows up to shut them down. Classic. 1933 marks Hitler's rise to power in Germany. A significant and dark day in history. And finally, in 2007, Microsoft released Windows Vista. Let's just say, some people have never forgiven them for that. Anne's anecdotal aside. Imagine this. It's 1649, top tests. Charles I, freshly decapitated, finds himself in a rather peculiar afterlife. He encounters Oliver Cromwell, equally surprised at their unexpected reunion. Both bemoan their respective fates and the messy state of England. Then, suddenly, a time traveler appears, explaining the concept of a suspension bridge and the upcoming popularity of a band called the Beatles. Cromwell is baffled by the concept of rock and roll, while Charles is genuinely interested in the possibility of safe passage across rivers. Their heated debate about the merits of monarchical rule versus a republic is interrupted by the announcement of the Windows Vista launch, sending them both into an existential crisis. They bickered endlessly about which historical event was more of a disaster, the English Civil War or the release of Vista. Their timeless argument echoes through the centuries, a constant reminder of the enduring chaos of history. And that, my friends, is your dose of history for today. Join me tomorrow for another exciting trip through time on A Day on the Focus.